Hi there, this is Sherry, and today I'm going to show you how to make this fun little carrot treat box, perfect for jelly beans or chocolate candies. So to get started, we will need one piece of 6x6 inch lightly colored light orange cardstock, the Easter egg die and the double stitched eggs die, the scalloped sentiment labels die, large stitch tags die, the paper from Color Me Happy, stencils from the So Many Dots layering stencil set, and then the clear stamp set O Crop. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is adhere my piece of cardstock to my mat, and then I'll tape down the stencil. It's a little bit smaller than 6x6, so I want to make sure I don't stencil over the edges of the, or color over the edges of the stencil. So I'm just taping it down to protect the outside edges of the cardstock. And then, as I said, I chose a light orange colored piece of cardstock. And then I'm going to go in with carved pumpkin, distress oxide, and just give it a light coating. I don't want it to overtake the cardstock, so I'm not being too heavy-handed with it. Just trying to give the paper a little bit of visual interest, so it's not just plain cardstock. And I will peel back that tape. I've been careful to just tape the stencil and not the paper, so my paper won't tear at all when I'm removing the tape. And as you can see, it's just kind of a light stencil effect. And I'm going to start out by using my scoring device, and I will score this at 1/2 inch on one of the sides and fold that over. I'm just going to use my fingernail to get a good crease there. And from that point, I'm going to fold one corner to the other and trim off that little piece right there. And now I can fold into the center fold on the carrot box on both sides. And give that a good crease. Then open it up, and you can see that one side is shorter than the other, so I will measure that shortest side. And it's going to be about 5.5 inches. And I'll scoot that over to the right side and measure at 5.5 inches, give it a little pencil tick, and then just take a pair of large scissors and trim across that carrot box. And easy peasy. Now I need to glue that flap down, and I'm going to trim off this little corner also. Make it easier to fold in. So I'm just using liquid adhesive for this. I want it to be a nice strong hold. Like I said, we're going to put candies in here, so I don't want it to fall apart when I put the chocolate candies in. Try not to get glue on yours like I did. And give that a nice crease again. And at this point, I have 4 tags that I have cut using the smallest tag from the large tag set. I have an extra one that we're going to attach to the carrot when it's finished. So I will score 4 of these tags at 1 inch. And this will give the carrot the flaps that it needs to hold the candy in place. One more. Now I'm going to again use liquid adhesive to attach these to the inside of the carrot box. Using a good amount of glue. Make sure that your fold line is above the edge of the carrot so that we can fold that in nicely. And then just continue that with the other 3. Mushing that down, make sure it's all nicely adhered. I think I say this in every video, but one of the reasons why I personally like to use liquid adhesive is because of that wiggle room that it gives me, especially when trying to line things up. So now I'm going to take my scoring tool and press that down, make sure everything's adhered very nicely. And there's that wiggle room. And now I'm going to tuck in 2 of the flaps, and then we'll be able to tie that top one together after we make our tag. So I also have this Easter egg that I did kind of a stained glass effect on. And the way that I did that was by cutting 2 pieces out of a heavier weight cardstock and then carefully using distress oxides on the bottom layer. The colors that I chose were picked raspberry and carved pumpkin for this. Not sure if I mentioned earlier, but the color for the dots on the orange cardstock was a ripe persimmon. And now I'm just going to clean up that space. And just use a little bit of glue to make sure that's all adhered very nicely also. And now I'm going to use a dimensional adhesive, and I'm just adding that to the inside of the cutouts. And it'll settle down, and like I said, it gives it a really nice effect. The other thing I thought you could do is add, stickles to the die piece that you've colored with Distress Oxides prior to adding on that top layer. So I'm just going to go and add these little pieces to my tag. Colored this cute little bunny ahead of time. And again, just adding some adhesive. The Easter egg itself is pretty dimensional. It's thick because of using the 2 pieces of heavy cardstock. So I'm going to use a little bit of foam adhesive on the bunny and carefully place him where he needs to go. It's a little too thick for the tag, and that looks about right. A little bit further down to cover the foam adhesive, and I'm just pressing that down nicely, make sure everything's stuck really well. And then I'll use a little bit of foam adhesive to attach the sentiment. And that's our cute little tag. So now I'm just going to add that to the top of the carrot box. So I'll use my scissors to poke that little ribbon through there. And then Adding the ribbon through the tag, again with my handy scissors. And then I'm just going to tie a nice little bow. And trim off the ends on my ribbon. That is it. I would love to see you make one of these and share it with me. Thanks so much for stopping by.